welcome back to Your Hour. I'm here now with Debbie Johnson, and Debbie is a certified hypnotherapist. Among other things, you have a whole bunch of qualifications. I noticed. I didn't know what all those initials meant.
Well, I'm a certified hypnotherapist, and I'm also just completing a doctorate program. And
Ah, okay.
So I'm going to be a doctor in about 2 weeks.
Oh, very
In
good.
clinical hypnotherapy.
Very good.
I also have a degree in social work. So.
Been a busy woman.
Yes, I have.
Well, today you were going to help people who, well, like you said before, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions, and here we are already 2 weeks into the new year, and very likely they've already given up on those New Year's resolutions.
Right.
So you have some suggestions on how hypnotherapy can maybe help them achieve those.
Right. With the problem with New Year's resolutions, you're using your willpower or the conscious part of your mind, and willpower is just a temporary thing. It doesn't last, and it's kind of like adrenaline. You get that burst of physical energy, and it helps you in a physical situation, like if a car cuts in front of you,
Yeah.
And that's kind of how willpower works. It gives you a burst of mental energy, but it fades away. And so after 2 or 3 weeks, most people have already tossed out their New Year's resolutions. And your mind has two distinct parts, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And unfortunately, you're using your conscious mind to try to change habits that are stored in your subconscious mind. And your conscious mind is the rational part of your mind, and the analytical part of your mind. It contains your willpower, your short-term memory, and it's also critical, and it doesn't let new programming into your subconscious mind very easily. Before the
Is that why people resist change?
Right.
Okay.
Your subconscious is like a really sophisticated computer, and whatever software you download in there, that's the program it's going to run. And so an example, just an easy example, like maybe when you were a kid, your parents were telling you don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers. And before the age of 7, your critical part of your mind isn't fully developed, so whatever goes in there, that's the program that stays. And so maybe 20 years later, you go to a party, and you're nervous, you don't want to go talk and meet new people.
Because they're all strangers.
Right. And so what hypnosis does is it just kind of relaxes the critical part of your mind so that you can plant in new suggestions, and it's much more powerful than if I were just to say to you, like, most people at the new year, I'm going to start going to the gym regularly, and I'm going to drop some weight, and I'm going to quit smoking or whatever. But what they've been telling themselves, your self-talk is programming your subconscious mind, the computer. Like if you're always saying, oh, I can't even look at a donut without gaining weight, or, oh, that last diet, I starved and I still gained it all back, or it's so hard to quit smoking, and so then you try to quit smoking, but your belief is, oh, this is going to be miserable, and so it just doesn't work. And so if you can get the two parts of your mind
on the same
page, then you can literally do just about anything. So it's just real effective, and a good hypnotherapist will also explain about your mind and teach you ways that you can do it yourself. So it's, it's self-empowering.
Yes.
You're just using the power of your own mind.
Right, and you can reinforce it as you need to when you feel like, wait a minute, I'm slipping here. I'm not quite. We're still battling each other. You can use what you've learned to reinforce all those positive thoughts.
Right, and it's amazing to me how quick and easy it is. And I recently had a client that had tried everything, and most people try everything before they come and see a hypnotist because, the stage hypnosis that give people the impression they're going to be quacking like ducks and making a fool of themselves. And so we kind of have
people view it like voodoo. They're a little bit afraid of it or a little bit mistrustful of it.
So it's usually the last resort. And I had one woman that came, and she was going to do gastric bypass surgery, and she decided to try hypnosis first, and she was really satisfied and so glad that she didn't go through that, because I'm sure that hurts a lot,
And it's a pretty traumatic thing on your body to have that, to go under the knife anyway.
And it's so much easier to just harness the power of your own mind to create lasting changes.
Right, because those changes are going to have to be lasting changes. in order for you to maintain all the positive decisions that you've made and the positive actions that you've taken. If you don't maintain those, then you go back to the old way of doing things, or you go back to the old weight, or you
Exactly.
the old bad habits. So you really need to harness the power in your mind, because otherwise it's not a permanent change.
Right, and it's just so simple. You're just going in, you're giving your mind some new suggestions and changing the software and putting in a new program that, yay, I'm going to love going to the gym, or I'm going to be so confident the next time I give a speech, or whatever. And then your subconscious mind is kind of like a genie. It'll help you do whatever you need to do if you can just get it on the same part, the same page as your conscious mind.
I've always been impressed with the idea of hypnotherapy because of the fact that what you're doing is you're pulling the strength from yourself, from your inner self. You're not relying on drugs. You're not relying on any kind of outside force. You're relying on what you have, your own resources, utilizing your own resources. And in the process of utilizing your own resources, you're actually learning what resources you have.
Right, and so then it kind of gives you confidence in your own self, which is great, and it just builds on it. Once you reach one goal, then you're amazed, and then wow, I'm going to try it on something else, and it's really just a fun thing too, and it's real relaxing, and
it's pretty safe.
Very safe and effective.
Well, I've always been impressed by it, and I strongly recommend it to people who are wanting to affect changes in their lives, because of the fact that it's, to me, it's so simple, because you're relying on yourself only, and all you're really using the hypnosis for is to help train
your mind.
Retrain your brain, basically, and by not relying on drugs or anything weird or kinky to make these changes, then you have power in your own life to make any change you want to make.
Right, and if you're relying on something outside of yourself, what happens when that's over? Like when you quit taking the medication, or you go off the diet, and then you're right back to where you were.
Or the side effects from medication can cause other problems that you didn't anticipate. So with hypnotherapy, there is no outside interference. You don't have to worry about side effects.
There's no harm ever recorded. It's been used for centuries.
Yes. I'm very impressed with it, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come and talk to us about it here on Your Hour. And your office is located very close to here.
It's right downtown, right by Douglas and Hydraulic in Wichita.